Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla TV, here to talk to you today about Hogtunes amps for Harley. So no doubt, if you're watching a Hogtunes amplifier video, this is part of a larger package for you. You are going to use these to drive more speakers or drive your existing speakers louder. These are made for touring bikes. Batwing and Sharknose specifically, you're going to have the most options out here from Hogtunes. Installation on these can be a little bit hairy. Break out your toolbox. This is a 3-bearder on our BSD, or beard scale of difficulty. With a maximum of 3 beards, this does ring in as a fairly difficult product to install. With that said, Hogtunes makes the best of a bad situation. They are the best in the business in terms of making an installation easy, and we're going to talk about why right now. First things first, let's acknowledge the obvious. Amps are not sexy. All this thing is a power box. It's a power box. There's not that much to say about it until you look at how Hogtunes is actually making these things. So the first thing you're going to get over a factory amplifier with these is efficiency. These things typically use similar power to a factory amp, but they use it more efficiently. So they're able to deliver more power direct to the speakers without sucking much juice off of your bike's electrical system. So right from the gate, just in terms of design, this is already a more efficient piece than your factory unit. So some other cool features about the way they design these. This particular piece is designed for use in a road glide. Now notice too, if you look at the profile of this amplifier, that's not just good looks. The reason they do that is to give you clearance and room to fit this inside your fairing. So you're not cutting up your fairing, you're not trying to figure out how to mount this thing. That can be a problem when you go to like a car style amplifier. A lot of times those amplifiers are great, they work really well. The problem is they don't fit inside your bike. Hogtunes is hooking you up. They're helping you out there, again, with that contour cut on this thing. You'll notice too, this deep channel here. That channel is specifically for the wires in your fairing to lay across here, give them somewhere to rest without having to jam everything back in there. Again, they're thinking about you on the installation. That's really what sets apart, I think, a motorcycle amplifier from just some generic car audio amplifier. The other thing I really love about these two, you can check out this harness. These come with all of the Hogtunes amps for installation. You can see here too, firstly, fused power. They're considering, they're protecting your investment. They're considering the fact that you are dumping a lot of money into this and you want to keep it safe. You can also see too, this connector here mates up perfectly to this amp. You're not going to wind up electrical taping and splicing stuff together. It looks terrible. It's also a really great way to start a fire on your bike. Hogtunes doesn't want that, you don't want that, so they're, again, hooking you up with the stuff you need to do a pro-level install without killing yourself. So getting into that installation, a couple things you want to consider. Firstly, fairing removal is not for the faint of heart. Kind of a pain to get in there. It can be difficult. You have a lot of things to consider. It's not physically difficult. However, there's just a lot there. You have to remember to hook up everything that you've disconnected. You have to remember there's lots of small hardware. Things can get a little bit tight in there. So that is something to consider. If you haven't had your fairing off, having a buddy over can help you out isn't a bad idea. Having a factory service manual is a must. You have to have that. It's going to make the job a lot easier. One of the other things you're going to want to think about too, especially those of you with Batwing bikes, keep an eyeball too on your fairing brackets when you're inside there. Now is a great time to upgrade into some fairing brackets. The factory ones for a long period of time had a big problem with cracking. If you're getting weird rattles or noise out of your fairing, it's definitely something you're going to want to repair while you're in there. And if you haven't had one break yet, again, that is something to look into. That's something we definitely have on the site. You can definitely find. The other thing you're going to want to consider too are the other components. If you're looking at an amplifier, this is probably a little deeper for you than just a simple speaker upgrade. You're probably planning a whole stereo system. The nice part about the Hogtunes stuff is it plays well with other Hogtunes items. So definitely check out the other speakers they have and make sure that you have your end game sort of all figured out. If you're going to add speakers down the line, these will let you upgrade to some degree or another, but just make sure you know what your end audio system wants to look like so that you know exactly what you need to purchase. So with all that in mind, Hogtunes does make it easy to do this install, but this is, again, not something for those of you who are faint of heart. I think Hogtunes really knocks it out of the park here. These things really kind of sell themselves. When you look at the advantages to installing a Hogtunes unit versus something more generic or a brand that's not considering your difficult installation here, I think the benefits are immediately obvious to anybody who's ever been inside a fairing, who has ever had to attempt to wrestle stereo equipment that isn't really designed for the application. My opinion is not the only one that matters though. Click below, learn a little bit more about this product, see what some other riders who are already running this on their bikes have to say about it. If you've got a question that we haven't covered, and you may have quite a few in terms of installation or product selection, get a hold of us. You can get a Gear Geek on the horn, 877-792-9455, or by email, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy, I'm out of here.